Liza Lim, welcome to Carriageworks for the first Sydney performances of your first opera, the Oresteia. It's so beautiful to be able to perform this here and have you here listen to it for the first time. You're hearing the Oresteia performed by Sydney Chamber Opera's singers for the first time today. What is it like hearing a piece written in 1993 now? What strikes you most about hearing it?
Thank you, Jack. It's great to be here at Carriageworks. And yeah, what a thrill to hear this work come to life again in new bodies. Hearing the Oresteia after 33 years makes me feel like a time traveller. And that sense of, suddenly now and then come together is really, kind of very emotionally sort of powerful and moving for me.
Sometimes people say that opera is not for them. What would you have to say to those people, and if they're coming to the Oresteia as their first opera? It'd be quite a wild ride.
Yeah.
But what does opera have to say to us as a genre now?
Opera for me is this multi-art form ecstasy. It is the body, it's the voice, it's the way in which we're together in a space and experiencing something that is both very intimate but also takes us into areas of experience that we can't normally have in our everyday lives. And so that sense of journeying into other spaces, journeying of the imagination through time, through memory, through story, shape-shifting, is what really thrills me about the operatic world.
This piece is so visceral as an opera. It exists in these singers' bodies, but other than 6 singers, there are actually 11 instrumentalists playing, and we're very fortunate to have the instrumentalists of Illusion Ensemble, with which you have a very long association. What does it mean to you to have Illusion participating in this new iteration of the Oresteia, and what's that relationship meant to you across your life?
Yeah, it's amazing to work with Illusion again on what was such a sort of important piece for me way back in the 90s. And there are some original performers actually that are still part of this production, so that's an exciting thing. And when I said I was like a time traveller, I remember that first kind of, being plunged into the world of opera for the very first time, and being in a context where people said, let's be totally unrealistic about making this work. And I feel that's also kind of energy that you began with Sydney Chamber Opera, and it's the energy which keeps the company strong, this sense of risk-taking, the sense of really pushing to the limits of performance. And I think that's something that's incredibly thrilling and is communicating very strongly, which will be exciting for audiences.
Can you tell us a bit about some of the extraordinary sounds that we might hear in the Oresteia?
Yeah, the Oresteia is an opera. I mean, the themes cover violence, revenge, justice, and a kind of shape-shifting transformation with those energies. I mean, I think those are energies which we're not done with. These are perennial themes, and I think there is an Oresteia for every generation. We see that interest in Greek myth, for instance, with Christopher Nolan's latest film, The Odyssey.
In this epic work, originally 3 plays by Aeschylus, you and Barry Kosky having also contributed to the writing of the libretto, condensed this into just a single hour of music. That's an extraordinary thing to do. And I'd love to know about what the process was like working with Barry Kosky on what to put in, what to leave out, what audiences are going to feel and think by seeing these characters in this kind of compression chamber.
Compression chamber. Yes, I mean, the original plays by Aeschylus would fill, a really long evening, and this is a 1-hour work where it's kind of like a diagnosis of certain kinds of themes, unappeased voices, as I said. So yeah, Barry Kosky and I were not so much interested in retelling the whole plot, but kind of really taking a diagnostic view of what are the voices that still want to kind of express something, what are the themes that are still really urgent in the world today. And I think there's that contemporary freshness with these, with such an ancient story, I mean, something that was written 5 centuries before the Christian era, still rings out, violence, what is justice, how can societies live together? They're problems that we're still grappling with.
Thanks so much, Liza. We'll see you at the Oresteia.
Can't wait.
Okay.